This is a reading of Disappointing the Family from Mostly Rejected by L.C. Lupus. Pain Gorger the Death Knell, who had been going by the name Robert in the human world for the last year, sat at the table with his family. It was quieter than usual. Even the screaming heads on their plates were momentarily silent. It was uncomfortable, terribly dreary, and Robert wished he could just go back to the human world. But it was Satan Day, which meant that every demon had to go back to hell for the festivities. Robert, if he was honest with himself, never wanted to return to hell. He'd left all this demon stuff behind and wanted to do something more with his life. He glanced down at the screaming head on his plate and then up again. He gestured towards the pain salt at the other end of the table. "May I have the salt, Father?" His father, who had never broken eye contact since they'd all seated themselves, took the salt without letting up on his stare. He threw it at his son. Robert snatched it out of the air and sprinkled some on the screaming head's eyes. The head groaned as Robert popped out an eye and chucked it in his mouth. He preferred human food too, but there was something homely about the traditional screaming head dinner. You've really outdone yourself, Mother." His mother was skinning a live stone beast to the side of her husband, and she didn't look up. "Yeah, it's good, you know." "I'm sure it is, Pain Gorger," his father said through gritted teeth. I told you I go by Robert now, Father." "Yes." His father stabbed the head on his plate and carved out a slice of cranium. He bit off a chunk and chewed it in his sharp teeth. "Your new human name, out there doing... Satan knows what you're doing." I've told you, Father. I'm a pop singer now." "Pop!" His father spat, spouting inane drivel about love and other human emotions. "What was wrong with the East Hell a cappella choir, Robert?" "Father, the East Hell a cappella choir is there to torture humans who hate a cappella. The whole point was that we were all out of tune. But I love music. I want to... Oh, dear Satan." His father buried his head in his hands. "I just want a normal son. Your brother has been doing great, haven't you, boy?" The other son nodded. He snapped his screaming head's nose off and grinned as it shrieked at him. "It's easy, Pain Gorger. You just sit with some humans and figure out what they hate. I've just been promoted to the Land Shark Reservation." "You should see the looks on those faces," he cackled. "Humans running from sharks that just run after them on dry land. Oh, Satan, it's a hoot, it really is." "Well, I don't want to torture humans, Agony Gorger," Robert said to his brother. "I want to play my guitar and sing. I want to have fun out there." Agony Gorger stifled a laugh as he returned to his screaming head and cut off an ear. "Where did we go wrong with you, Robert?" his father asked through his fingers. "I raised you well, didn't I? Don't you remember your 10th birthday? We went testicle kicking in the lawyer fields, and you had such a big smile on your face the whole time." "Yeah, well, Dad, I have some good memories, but I want to do something other than torture. Can't you understand that? Other than... What? Why? Oh my God, I knew you wouldn't understand." Everyone at the table gasped, and his mother pointed her serrated blade at me. "We do not use that kind of language here. My Satan, Pain Gorger, you've been spending too much time with those humans. Their mannerisms have rubbed off on you, bringing up that angel lover's name at my table." "I also hear he's got himself a girlfriend," Agony Gorger chirped with a giggle, and then took a hammer to the screaming head to get at those tasty bits inside. Robert sighed. He didn't want to talk about Susan. I hope you're at least engaging in some sadomasochistic sexual practices with this woman. That's the least you can do," his father sighed. She's actually very, vanilla?" The whole table groaned. His mother did the sign of the pentagram on her chest. "In the name of the Antichrist, the Dark Lord, and the Unholy Spirit." She lowered and shook her head. "What a disappointment, Pain Gorger." "Well," Robert knew he should have stopped speaking, but he couldn't do it. "We're actually, we're waiting till marriage before we They all stared. You have to be joking, son. No, we're maintaining our vows of celibacy. His father pushed his plate away and stared at his son. Pop music, no torture in life, and virginity? What did I do wrong? What in the name of Satan did I do wrong with you, boy? Nothing, father. You didn't do anything wrong. Don't bother. His father rose to his feet. I'm going outside to smoke the dog for a while. Everyone sat around in silence as they ate their food. Robert wanted to go home, but at least Satan Day only came around once a year. He could soon go back to Earth and continue his life as a celibate pop singer. He was also looking forward to church on Sunday, but he'd never tell his family about that. They'd disown him. He sighed as he picked at his screaming head. It was nearly over and done with. At least he could hold on to that. And that is disappointing the family. Hope that you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, you can always check out the collection from which it is, published. Mostly rejected. And there are also a couple of other books that you can see in the description below. Things like Parked In, which is about a sentient parking space and how said parking space thinks about the humans around them. Or, of course, you can check out Dear Martha, which is an epistolary story told entirely through letters about an academic who did something terrible and is now on an assignment somewhere as horror slowly creeps upon them. Otherwise, I hope that you have a great day, week, and month ahead. And if you like this video, do the usual things, like, comment, subscribe, whatever, and check out some of my books. Alright, ta-ta!